All right, we'll start here in a couple minutes. Still waiting for some people to log in. If you get a chance, please log into the chat here. The today's meet other apps 12 o'clock, and that way you can introduce yourself if you have any questions. So wait a couple more minutes to see if everybody gets here. We'll give it about another 2 or 3 minutes here to wait on the other people to get logged in. If you get a chance, please log into our chat at today's meet other apps 12 o'clock. So if you've got any questions, also let me know if you do just want to log in there to do a sound check too, that you can hear me. If you could please log in there and introduce yourself and let me know if you can hear me. We'll start here in a couple minutes. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. If the others come, they can just jump right in. So my name is Jason Whited. I'm an instructional technology consultant here in the College of Education at East Carolina University. And today we're going to talk about Intro to Google Other Apps. Now, is in the introduction to the course, and we're going to talk about the apps of Google Drawing, Google Sites, Google Hangouts, and Google Maps. And this is just kind of an overview of those four. There's a lot in each one that we probably could spend a whole session on, but this is just kind of giving an introduction to them so you can look at them, kind of, play with them and get to know them. So, but let's just kind of an overview of why do you want to use Google Apps, especially Google Apps for Education. I mean, the biggest thing about the Google Apps and their strength is they're cloud-based. They're not specific to any computer or device or anything. So anytime you access your Google account, your Gmail or whatever, then you have access to any documents you created, presentations, drawings, maps, anything like that. So, when you look at this infographic and you see that, oh darn, I didn't have the updated version of the assignment, or I can't work on the assignment because I don't have the software, or I don't have the group project is not time. Those kind of excuses you hear, and Google's taking that and those excuses away by making it cloud-based, making all these products collaborative, so that students can get into it and work with each other, and they can have access to it from anywhere. They can be on their home computer, school computer, library computer, mobile phone, iPad, anything, anywhere. So that's probably the biggest strength to it. Okay, so I also want to go a little bit of an explanation here, and we're going to talk about Google Chrome, which is their browser, versus Google your login. So as you can see, I use this is Google Chrome, and it's signed in up here. There's my name, Jason. So that means I'm signed into my Google Chrome. Now the advantage of that is, first of all, I have all my bookmarks there that I have access to. If I have any apps or extensions anywhere, I have access to those too. And then, these extensions, and I do a workshop on Google Chrome, which really goes more into these. But these are third-party programs that Google has allowed them to add to Google Chrome to make it more versatile, more to do things specifically. Whether it be create a screencast, whether to send an email directly, anything like that. So block ads, and it's allowed third-party vendors, and that's the whole theme with Google, and a lot of like documents and sheets and stuff like this. They've added what they call add-ons, so they allow third-party vendors to come in and create something. That's probably one of the biggest strength is that Google's open it up and let people come in and say, hey, I can make this just a little bit better and do this. And it can be a lot of stuff like that is free, some are paid. You just have to look at it. And then you also have your Gmail, and that's what it is right here. There's my private account. That means that I'm signed in, so now I have access to my Gmail, my Google Drive, and anything I create now automatically feed over into my Google Drive. So creating docs or sheets, that means I'm logged in there. So, but when they work together, it's pretty powerful, especially when you're using some of the tools for like Gmail and stuff. And again, I talk about those in another workshop. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. What is Google Drawings? The definition for Google Drawings is a free web-based diagramming software developed by Google. It allows users to collaborate and work together in real time to create flowcharts, organizational charts, website, wireframes, mind maps, concept maps, and other types of diagrams. Google Drawings is hosted within Google Drive, and all files created within the application are by default saved to Google Drive. So basically, everything you create is automatically saved. So you don't have to worry about, did I save everything? And that's like one of the biggest things. And it says where all changes saved to Drive. Once something's done, it saves there automatically. It does it, like you see there, the last edit was 41 minutes ago. But by doing this, again, we've all been working with Microsoft Word or something like this. You're typing away, maybe your power goes out or something like this. You forgot to save your document. All that work's gone. Well, because they're automatically saving, because it's cloud-based, everything you do is automatically backed up. And that's, again, a great thing for working with Google. And you can work on some stuff offline. As soon as you get online, it automatically updates it and saves it to your drive. Okay, so this is the canvas. So I'm gonna go ahead here and go to Google Drawings. Google Drawings right here. So again, as you see, this is your basic canvas. Now, it's kind of, there's stuff out there. There's paid stuff, programs that will probably do a lot more than Google Drawings would do, but it's really good for what most people want to use. It's a great product. And I'm just going to do, like I said earlier, so to do some basics. But this is your canvas. So let's look at our menus. So we look at our menus. We're gonna go back here to our canvas, and you have your file is obvious. You click on that. It's going to if you want to make a copy, download as, and this is where when you download anything, it'll take out all the squares. It'll just do as a white background. If you want a new one, open, rename, make a copy. Just things like that. Your edit is kind of if you want undo, redo. Select all that kind of stuff. Your view, what size you want to, and you insert. If you want to insert stuff into a text box, image, word art, that kind of stuff. Your format, arrange it. We'll talk a little bit about those, your tools. So you can do spelling, research, and this is research. So if you really wanted to do, so if, let's say, when I'll talk about research here, research is that if I want to look up something over here, like pizza, I can take that and I can grab that image and drop it right there, and it even tells you where the image came from. But now if I had an image of pizza and I wanted to play with it, I can. So it's a really nice thing about your insert, your research. In tables, when insert a table. So again, we talked about your files, and then the big thing is download is a PDF, a JPEG, or a PNG. These are the two best formats right here, JPEG and PNG, to put to a website, share with your friends and stuff like that. So now your insert menu. I did forget, let me go back here and talk about your page setup, and your page setup has your preset that uses this to choose preset size for your drawings. So if you want to make your square a little bigger and stuff like this, you can do that. And publish to the well makes your contact available on the web. So your insert menu, this is again where I showed where you can insert a text box, an image, a word art, line, a shape, a table, and comments. When I go back over here, I can say, okay, I'm going to insert a text box, pizza. And then of course, when you're up here, you can say, I want to make it bigger. 36, I want to bold it. I want to change the color. So it's basically a basic word editor there. And you can say, I'm going to center it, and see then center it in the page, and pizza center in the page too. Brilliant. So they have a basic editor. If you want to insert an image, you have different options for image. So click on image, and you can say, I want to take a snapshot by Euro for my albums. So if I want to insert this image here of my kids on the beach, select it, and it takes it up, but I can shrink it down, and then here to take this around. And actually right click that, I can actually go to order, which I can order and bring that to the front. So that would be on front. So it looks like my daughter's staying on a pizza. It's under format. So then you've got your insert, word art. You can play around with that. Again, what all this stuff is, you want to play around with it to get to use it better. A line, which, just simple line like you do anything else. I can line here. You can insert a shape. You can do an arrow, call outs. We do a quote. And then what's nice though is when you get there, you can say, I want to make it a fill color transparent, so there's nothing in there. So good. And you can also insert, a table. Just like any other Word document, they can choose your different rows and stuff like this. Or if you want to comment on it, make a comment that others might want to see and say, if you're sharing this with somebody, you can comment, they can answer back to it. Now, arrange, like I just showed you real quick, is the order, which is bring to the front, send backwards. That would just bring it forward. So if I brought it to the front, everything's gone. But if I want to say arrange, send to the back, everything pops up again, so like that. So that's what that is the big thing there. You can align horizontally, vertically, center on the page, rotate, and group. So if I clicked everything, I wanted to move it and stuff like this. So again, the best thing to do for this is just to play with it and get used to it. And there's plenty of online tips that you can find online. Just there's gonna be some 12-year-old boy out there from England that can explain this a lot better than me. But this is, like again I said, this is just highlights. So then you get your talked about your range, and then your main toolbar, and this is going to be your look at your main toolbar. You have up here undos over here. This is going to be your paint format. So the formatting you apply to a specific section, apply to another. So if I want to put blue over here, come blue over there. This is zoom to fit. This is your zoom again. Select object edit, put in a line, insert a shape. Again, same thing as inserts here. If you look there, it's image shape, text box, and then image. It's just a scale down right here, which you want to, again, in your comment. So and again, you can download this presentation. If you go up here to download this presentation, so that you can look again at what I've created here. So okay, nice to meet you, Nura. If you have any questions, I'm probably mispronouncing, I apologize, Nura, then you can just ask them in the chat window. So let's go ahead and down here to, what was that? Now your image editing. So if I go back over here to my image editing, and I'll back over here, let's select this image here, and then go to my, now I have some different options that pop up here. I have add a border. So if I want to add a border, I can make a black border around my image. So when I click off of it, see it's now got a line across it. You then can add, you can actually make it a thicker border. So if I want to make it, now it's a big thick border. So that changes that. Then you can, if you want to do dashes, you can add a link. So if I wanted to, you've already got a link for the pizza there, but if I wanted to put a link to, a website talking about the beach, Atlantic Beach there, I could do that. I can crop an image, I can reset an image, and then some image options are, I can make it transparent, brightness and contrast and stuff like this. Again, just play with it to get used to it. So. And then again, when it all comes down to it, the other biggest thing that you can do with Google is you can share it. So when I go here, if I want to title my doing, a title doing pizza, I'm going to save it. And I could have, now I'm going to share it. And you see that up here, it says new pizza there. I could have titled up there too, that I can get a shareable link. So I could share it with your class and say, okay, anybody with this title can just comment on it. So they can only add comments, copy the link, email it to the class, and they can then comment in what they want to, or you can give them the options of viewing or edit it. And again, that's one of the big, click done. It's one of the nice things about Google is that you can collaborate. So if you're doing some real extensive artwork or creating a message board or something like this, you could share it out with people. And it's like this. So using drawings in class. So you create a graphic organizer, create digital badges for gamifications, create a blog header, create an infographic. That's one of my favorite things. I'm not very good at it, but you can use it, create a logo for projects, sketch notes. And then, but these are something that you can collaborate with somebody, especially if you're creating an infographic, put in information, stuff like this. So that's why you'd want to share it. So that was Google Drawings. Any questions? I can always come back to it if you think of something a little bit later. You can just ask me in the today's meet 12 o'clock chat. I'm going to go ahead and talk about Google Maps. Go ahead and close this. Now, Google Maps is a desktop web mapping service developed by Google. It offers satellite imagery, street 360 panoramic views of the street, real-time traffic conditions, and route planning for traveling by foot, car, bicycle, or public transportation. So basically, you type in an address, and it's going to, if you're using Google Chrome, so it's going to default to Google Maps. So if I want to type in here and I want to go to Greenville, Carolina, Here's my map. It's going to be a Google map, see? It's something that's raining right now, but this is, I can share it, I can save it, it's nearby. So scroll in or out, move around, but it's just a map. Like I said, it's finding directions. So if I want to find directions to, here, click on my directions, I can say I'm going to start at the Spate building here in the College of Education. Spate building, Greenville, North Carolina, and I want to go to, say, at Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. And it's going to give me directions, starting here and end up down there. And, it gives you different estimates of how long it would take and stuff. So, and different routes. Like I said, basically it's just a mapping edit. If you want to switch over here and look at the Earth view, you can, or go back to the map view. But the nice thing about it is Google is now taking it a step further, and you can actually create maps with it and like add to it. I know that some teachers I've talked to are using it as they're going to Washington, D.C. They might take a map of Washington, D.C. and put in the little pieces and say, the first day of the 3-day trip, that we're going to go to these 4 destinations. The second day, go this. So they would have a map. Instead of having 12 different destinations for each day, they could do it in layers and say, here's first day, second day, third day. And I'll get into that. But so let's go ahead and create a map. Over here to my drop down, click My Maps. And I'm going to create a map. And untitle this is Greenville. And I want to just go over here to North Carolina. Scroll down until I get there. And until I get to Greenville a little bit bigger. And there's Greenville. And see where it says all saved. So automatically now this map here. So if I go back over here to my search results, click on recent, there's Noon Pizza. And there's my map, Greenville Noon. There's the pizza thing I just did was automatically saved. And now there's my map I'm doing, my Google Drive. So let's just explain a little bit about the map itself. Now, first of all, this is what you would call the main map menu, where I've created the title for, and then I could put in descriptions of it. Click on it. I get the title and say Noon Key example. Save. And it says Greenville. So you can add whatever descriptions you want to. You also then have your layer. So I can add a layer, do it. So I'm going to say that your different layers, and then you can star it up here, and that makes it important. So when I go back over to my drive, it's starred. So if I ever search for anything starred in my drive, my Greenville Noon is going to show up because I've starred and made it important. So you might want to do that if you're working on something to keep it current and stuff like this. So let's go ahead. So that's a little bit quick explanation of that. And again, play with it. Look at it and play with it. So map menu, I talked about, you can add a layer, and we'll talk about layers here. We titled it. There's an example. So let's go ahead and start playing with the over here. So I can rename this layer, delete this layer, open data table. And when you open the data table, it would just find anything you put in there. So let's go ahead and name it. We're going to do CU. There. Save. I don't want to import anything. So now what I want to do then is I'm going to go up here, I've got my layer, and look at my map tools. Just undo everything like this, just select items. And this is the big thing, is add a marker. So what I want to do is I can search up here and I want to say East Carolina University District. So I could put in a marker right there. I'll add that marker there. But I also could put in a marker here, drop at the airport, just to say airport. If you want to give directions to somebody to drive. So if they're looking further back, scroll out a little bit, see East Carolina Airport. And see, by adding it that, I put it to the layer. So I moved it down to the layer. When it's green, it's up there, now it's part of this layer. So let's scroll in a little bit, and let's find something else you want to find here. Let's find ops. Let's find Walmart. Boulevard. Again, you see it's green because I'm going to the map overall, but by clicking plus, I've added it here. So now I've got those three things there and into my different places. So now I can add another layer, and let's say this layer I'm going to name New Bern, where I'm from. Okay, so I'm going to go to New Bern. So I want to go down here and find New Bern. It's down here, and in New Bern, I want to add something here. But I'm going to go here to New Bern. And see. And I've added to that 0.1. I'm going to delete that. I don't need that because I've got New Bern there. And see, when I click on it, it gives me all the information, details from Google Maps. View in Google Maps. Longitude, latitude. When I'm in New Bern, I'm going to search for, then I want to search for in this layer. Here's the airport. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in a thing here. Airport. Edit. Sorry, it's being. Save it. But I also want to do something here is I'm going to change the color of this. I'm going to change it to blue. And go up here and change this one also to blue. So it differentiates from my, sorry about that, my red to have a green though. And I want to search Walmart again. New Bern. Walmart's New Bern. It's right there. I'm going to go ahead and add it to this layer. And I want to go ahead and change its color to blue again. So now you can see I have three different things. Now the nice thing though is I'm looking at it, I'm going to say, okay, this is a map for what I'm going to do in 2 days. On Monday, I'm going to do this. On Tuesday, I'm going to do this. Well, now that it's Tuesday and I've already done Mondays, I can say there and I can uncheck this. And now that's hidden. So that means that would be done. But once I check it back again, then, so that's what layers does. So if you're looking at a map, you want events and you want to travel different spots or set stuff up like this, you can click the different layers and show your students and have them click it. So we talked about the map tools. You also can do in the maps tools, if I'm looking across here, you have where you can draw lines. If both my things are up there and I want to draw a line, add a line or shape. As the flag grows, the bird flies. And draw a line, or you can add directions, measure distance and areas, stuff like this. Again, just play around with it to get used to it. And like I did, I talked about layers, your 2 different layers already. So that is Google Maps. Like I said, I've known that some teachers that have put together maps that they've done their trips to Washington, D.C., or you could do a map of the Underground Railroad from different points, different times, World War II versus World War One. There's lots of obvious that you can go to Europe and stuff and do those things. So again, just play with it, and we're just kind of giving an overview of it here. So now we're going to talk about any questions. If not, we're going to go to Google Hangouts. So what are Google Hangouts? It's a unified communication that allows members to initiate participant text, video, voice, or video chats in either one-on-one or groups. Hangouts are built into Google Plus and Gmail. So basically, it's a free that you can do web chats. And it's obvious I'm doing Google Hangouts on air here, but if you want to do personal chats, or you can do small groups where you can get up to, I think it's now 15 people involved. So you have 15 people together, topic and topic. So if you're taking an online distance course, distance ed course online or whatever, and you might be in Raleigh, somebody might be in New Bern, somebody might be in Greenville, to do group collaboration, all you could do is just sign into a Google Hangout and you all get on at the same time. You can also do text where you can chat with each other, or video or voice, like a phone call. And it's you can see it kind of goes into, when I go to like my presentation up here, here's the chat. So it's kind of along those lines. So let's go ahead and go to Google Hangouts. I'm going to drive here. I can click directly here to go to Google Hangouts. And I can start a video call, phone call, or I can message somebody. So it's pretty simple. So, if I'm going to do, from my side screen, if I don't know them, I can click on them. They can then get an invite that you're going to call them. They can click on it and do it. So kind of a rough look at how it will be done here is I'm going to do call a College of Education, which broadcasts from my personal. I'll do a video call with them. I'm starting a screen share here, so you see there. And now I'm going to go to Google and say now the call's gone through and they've joined it. And now you're going to hear myself twice because I'm talking, but you can see here. As you can see, I'm talking to myself. Again, let me show that again, just in case it didn't. So I'm going to do a video call. Oh, no, sorry. I want to call the College of Education here. notification. Again, you see it answered. It's simple. There I am twice, and you're getting feedback. Okay, so that was Google Hangouts. Like I said, if you have multiple people you can call and talk to them. As you see, I've had with Dan and Holly, contacts there, and Kelvin and stuff, and you see these different people. And like I said, you invite them, they get this that looks up like what they're going to call there. It pops up, they accept the call, and they join the video call. So, but that's Google Hangouts. Now, Google Hangouts on Air takes that a step further. You can host and broadcast a live discussion forming the world through your YouTube channel, Google Plus homepage. You can edit and share a copy of the broadcast as participants. You can join Hangouts there from your computer. So basically, it's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing Hangouts on Air. You can share it with people, set up, pre-schedule different times with it. So getting started with it over here. So if I want to go over to do a Google Hangouts on Air, I can go back here to my drive, and I can do Google Plus, and I want to, sorry, just do, or you do, search for Hangout on Air. And oops, sorry about that. All right. Here we go. This is what I'll make. Google Plus. I go to Hangouts. Go to Events. So I click Hangouts. Hangouts on Air. And now I'm getting to this image. So if I want to create a Google Hangout on Air, I just click on it. Give it a name. Example. You can do it now or later. I could say I want to do it at 7 p.m. tonight for a half hour. Share it public, or I can invite people. So if I want to invite or Holly or whoever, you can do it. I can invite from my circle, people, my friends and stuff. Or I can just keep it public. So let's hit share now. So now I get the option of broadcasting it here. And this is like what you've seen. So if I started it right now, it's going to start broadcasting it. I'll go ahead and start it. It's going to ask me now, as you can see, it's asking to invite, which I can skip. And there, and of course I have my screen share option here, my showcase, my question and answers, cameraman, those kind of different controls. So in broadcasting, you should just to start, you can stop it, go live, which we talked about. Okay. And your tools are going to be, you have your drawing tool down here, your chat right there. You have your screen share. You have your capture, if you want to work on your camera, stuff like this. And you can add more to them and take away from them. So access more apps here, your question and answers. And across here, you're going to have your invite more people. If you want to mute your mic, turn your camera off. If you want to adjust your volume, this is your settings. You want to hang up your call. And in the bottom right corner, you have view, example, and links. And this is where you could share a link from an event if you're in the middle of it. Copy this event page, it takes you to the front page, and you go with it. So, and then when you're watching it, you just need to go to YouTube, and you click on my channel, trending, and then you find your example of your video. So I go to YouTube, and here, just go to YouTube. Yeah, you go to YouTube, and you see your video. Okay, so let's talk about Google Sites. Any questions about Google Hangouts and Hangouts on Air? It's a really powerful tool. A lot of people are starting to use it more for like the goldfish example, whereas have a couple, 2 or 3 people talking about something, and then people can comment on it and stuff like this. So it does have its drawbacks in the aspect of that. We're using today's Meets chat because chat hasn't worked the best, but you also look at it and it's some school systems have it blocked, so they cannot see it. So they have problems because it's a YouTube, kind of like YouTube. So you do run into those issues. So what are Google Sites though? Google Sites, so next up, if you don't have any questions about Google Hangouts, Google Sites is a free application that allows users to create websites. It can act as a teacher website, collaboration, sandbox, wiki, but basically it's just a website, and it's a really easy to use. So getting started. So I can come over here again to my drop there. And go to my sites. And I've got my sites. Close some stuff down here. And you can see these are some different sites that I've created. So I had this Google account. So but it's easy to just go create. I can do blank template and classroom, browse more for gallery for more. I can then, so I want to name my site. So let's go TV. It tells me that it is available. Then I have to say I'm not a robot. You can select your themes again down here if you want to do some theme stuff, open sky, rounder, stuff like this. We won't play with it. Again, your best thing is just to play with it. Close it. You can also have some more options here if you want to say that type in description, or this might be something that is not appropriate for under 16. So once that's all done, I'll click create. While it's creating here, we'll go back over to the presentation. So we'll talk about settings here in a minute. Okay, it is taking a minute. There. Oh. So I selected this theme. Well, it probably took a while too, didn't mean to. But this is student of the month. So if you want to do kind of like a Miss Smith's classroom, you could there's the picture of Miss Smith. You could put the student of the month, that kind of stuff like this. So they have some great themes and stuff like this. So that you can default versus creating your own. You can also create your own in Google Drawing if you want to. So we have the option of editing the page on the settings up here. Oops, sorry. So we can edit the page here. and we can say format. We got insert, we got image, link, table, contents, a button, recent posts, stuff like this. If you know anything about web page design and questions, stuff like this, you can go ahead and do it. And there's plenty of directions here to do it. So, calendar, it's nice that you can pull documents from your Google Drive, your photos from your Google Plus. If you want to do your Hangout, put it there, a map to get here, stuff YouTube. So you have more that. You also have more gadgets, which means that you can add different things to it. These are the third-party vendors that you can get there to add to, again, that Google's allowed you to do it. Do layout if you want to have 2 columns, 3 columns, stuff like this. Table if you want to insert a table. Again, your formatting if you want to make this bigger, your headings and stuff like this. Click back, home. Go over here to page actions, revision, page settings, page templates, say page, change page template. So site actions, you can edit the site layout. There's your header, stuff like this. So again, you just have to play with it. And this is a pretty in-depth. And sharing your permission, so you could share it with whoever you want to and get permission. So if you're creating a website with a co-teacher or something, you can share it with them and you can both edit and change it and stuff like this. So if you want to create a page within it, create a page, and go here and click create a page. So I can name the pages, page 2. You put it on your home page. You can select where you want to put it. Create. There's page 2. So, and again, what you need to do is just play with it and get used to it. Anything with Google, just go ahead and play with it. So you have your edit menu bar. And we talked about this, is you have your, a format. It's just a simple. Up here, if you want to add any text size, if you want to link anything, it's just a text editor right there. Your insert. Again, if you want to insert an image, a link, table of contents, that kind of stuff, drive it. And your layout, if you want to make it 2 or 3 columns. Talked about creating a new page. So that is all I have then for Google Sites and for my afternoon PD, this new PD. So if you have any questions, you can email me at whitedj.ecu.edu. Give me a second here. Got to update that. Make sure that you fill out our forms for attending session if you want to do a CEU. If you attend 10 sessions, whether it be part of mine, part of Holly's, or part of Dan's, and online, once you've completed those 10 sessions, you let me know, and we'll give you a CEU for it, free of charge. I also want to, so if you have any questions, you can email me there. Please fill out the survey. I also sent you the link in your email, and it's on the front page too. Now I want to talk about our Ed Camp that's upcoming. This is going to happen April 23rd. Registrations closes this Friday. We are getting close to capacity. We have like very few slots left, like under 10. So go ahead and register if you get a chance. What we're doing here at Ed Camp is an uncamp, which means that we will talk about educational technology, but it's not your normal conference you go to where that you choose 1 of 4 sessions in the morning, 1 of 4 sessions in the second part of the morning, lunch, etc., third, fourth sessions. This is a wide open, people are going to come and we're going to talk about educational technology. And it can be, and I could lead it, or somebody that walks off the street come and say, I want to talk about flipping the lesson, and this is what I want to talk about in relation to it. And 10 people might say, that sounds great, let's go talk about it. And then just do it. So it's free. There's Danish stuff like a light breakfast, continental breakfast. Then there's also free box lunch, and then there'll be snack in the afternoon. We also have some tchotchkes and some great giveaways. It's open to anybody that registers. And just go ahead to, like I said, if you download this presentation, you can get to this link right there to register. And I highly recommend you do it. It's going to be a fun time. The other thing I want to talk about is the Eastern North Carolina Instructional Technology Collaborative. What this is we're trying to start off this collaborative amongst our K-12 partners in Eastern North Carolina for PD. I can give some PD, like with some stuff I know a little bit about. I can talk about, Holly can talk about her online teaching, Dan about media coordinators and what they can do in schools. But there's a lot of our K-12 partners that are in the classrooms there that are barely knowledge about educational technology, and we want to give them the opportunity to present along with attend each other's sessions. So what we're looking to do is, if we'll offer these sessions and it goes along with the same sessions with ours, as you be 10 of those starting next year, you'll get a CEU, but it won't be me teaching it. I might facilitate somebody from Caravan County who wants to talk about Nearpod because they use it in their classroom. They think it's a wonderful app. So then we would, like I said, we would facilitate it. And then once you attend 10 of those sessions, you let us know. But it enables us to get a kind of a cross-cultural dialogue going along amongst our partners, whether it be Craven, Pitt, Bertie, those counties. So there might be some of those counties that don't have the resources that Pitt County does to teach, and so they can get educational technology CEUs by attending these sessions. And there's more that from the website, and there'll be more after the Ed camp that we'll really go into. It's a summer project. We're really going to flesh it out more. So again, I want to say thank you. My name is Jason Whited, instructional technology consultant here in the College of Education. You can reach me at whitedj@ec.edu. If you've got any questions, you can follow me on Twitter, find me on LinkedIn, or Google Hangouts. I'll hang out for the next few minutes. If there's any questions, you can do the chat, or like I said, send me an email. Good luck, and I hope you enjoyed our session. All right, then if there are no other questions, I'm going to close this session down. Have a good afternoon.